Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh, and his only begotten Son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshua, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So we gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishop, elders of great millstone, who rule well, who teach well, while the apostles and elders over all of Israel, really accepted or not. In a sense, it's salutation to all the octant pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth and the entire world. Share light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the upwalk who are listening and learning. If you sisters are listening and learning. Coming at you another lesson, truth, facts, faith, and edification. Another day of edification, Lord willing to be edifying. So I titled this lesson, they working overtime to get rid of us, the useless eaters. That's what they call so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, useless eaters. And this is a a lesson that one of the brothers that come in fellowship with us come from Jacksonville. His channel is Trust and True Jacksonville, all together one word. Trust and True Jacksonville. Subscribe to the brother channel, young brother. He do edifying lessons. And I'm gonna play these two clips he got in his video, and I'm gonna get some precepts. Because these devils is destroying us mainly through the food, the chemtrails, the water. But this is what they do. So I'm gonna play this clip from the brother. I think this Umar Johnson, I think this is. So check this out. I'm gonna play these couple of clips and I'm gonna get a couple precepts. Shalom, Mark. The brother on the comment board. Subscribe to the brother channel. Yahweh Shema Shah Baraka Thumb to the argument I walk tuning in. Shalom. So I'm gonna play these two clips the brother got, and I'm gonna get some precepts because this is what these devils is doing, man. So check this out.
Why is Bill Gates buying up all of the farmland?
Yeah, that's
Because
control of food.
not only control the food, it's deeper. These ninjas,
Joe Biden.
white ninjas, have come up with a technology that is, I think they call it RNA resistant crop. Not GMO no more. GMO, it don't grow again. You feel me? You grow one time, it decimates the soil, it's dead. GMO was cancer for soil.
Mm-hmm.
This RNA resistant crop, you are able to engineer the seed to search and destroy a certain type of genetic composition. They can make a seed that will target Black people. So when you ingest the fruit and vegetable, it automatically goes to attack on your immune system.
Damn.
Imagine putting the AIDS virus in your food.
Mm-hmm.
The reason Bill Gates is buying up why is Bill Gates buying up all
Farmland.
of the farmland?
Yeah, that's
Because
control of food.
not only control the food, it's deeper. These ninjas,
Joe Biden.
white ninjas, have come up with a technology that is, I think they call it RNA resistant crop. Not GMO no more. GMO, it don't grow again. You feel me? You grow one time, it decimates the soil, it's dead. GMO was cancer for soil.
Mm-hmm.
This RNA resistant crop, you are able to engineer the seed to search and destroy a certain type of genetic composition. They can make a seed that will target Black people. So when you ingest the fruit and vegetable, it automatically goes to attack on your immune system.
Damn.
Imagine putting the AIDS virus in your food.
Mm-hmm.
The reason Bill Gates is buying up
That's crazy. That's crazy. But now let's go get this video.
And to clear up what he said, Black people. No, different shades of brown, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. But We know he's one of those pro-black, right? A black on black on black. I'm black, y'all. He one of them.
Now, RNA.
Or cousin Mabel.
It's one of that.
DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. It's the genetic material that's in the cells of all living organisms. It's the double-stranded helix structure in cell nuclei that carry the genetic information of an organism. It consists of thousands of genes that are made up of millions and billions. Each gene is a set of instructions on how to build a protein molecule. But in order to make a protein from DNA, there's another player, messenger RNA. DNA is copied into mRNA, RNA, ribonucleic acid, a single-stranded sort of mirror image temporary version of DNA. This mRNA transfers the DNA message from the nucleus to the ribosomes, where the proteins are manufactured. The mRNA is then translated into proteins. And in turn, these proteins do things. They are the workhorses for cellular and organism function. Taken together, DNA, RNA, and proteins are the blueprints and raw materials for life. Knowing that these molecules exist in living organisms and how they work gives humans some powerful tools for manipulating the genetics of organisms. Well, this brings up another molecule involved. It's a version of RNA, that temporary copy of the DNA, called RNAi. The I in RNAi stands for interference. When a cell wants to stop making a protein, it produces a little RNAi molecule which silences certain DNA from producing a protein. RNAi is a naturally occurring, necessary genetic component of all organisms, including humans. For example, RNAi has the important job of fighting things like viruses and regulating genetic changes and mutations. RNAi does this by specifically targeting certain sequences of DNA and blocking the production of proteins. Since the discovery of the RNAi process in the 1990s, this genetic mechanism has led to some pretty innovative applications. Application of RNAi has shown to be a promising method of improving life for us on many levels, including switching off genes that cause diseases, learning what genes do and how they work, and making food production easier. Researchers use RNAi by designing and introducing short strands of RNA, around 21 to 25 nucleotides. These short strands bind to the complementary sequences in the genetic code. RNAi works by stopping the information in the DNA from getting to the protein-making ribosomes. It interferes with the messenger RNA. When it comes to agricultural applications, RNAi can be used as a form of genetic pesticide that can be built right into a plant's biology. For example, an insect pest feeds on a crop that deploys RNAi coded to stop the ability for that pest to digest food and process nutrients from the plant. As a result, the pest's growth or its ability to reproduce is slowed or halted, or the pest dies.
Hey, and that's pretty much what's happening to us. We're dying slowly. You know, when you realize like your skin breaking out, your hair, loss of hair, fingernails, you know what I'm saying? Our beard ain't even growing out to the fullest like it was. They poisoning everything, man. Everything. You even go plant-based. That stuff is not real. Chemically, it's a lot of chemicals in that stuff. You know, the grass is poison. They, you know, think about the people that come out and spray your garden and your grass. They poison everything, man. Everything is in the upside down because Esau's in rulership.
Or a crop produces RNAi that changes a plant's chemistry, making that plant unattractive to a pest. Or the RNAi can block a plant's susceptibility to an herbicide, allowing the herbicide to only kill weeds on the farm.
So even though it's talking about a farm, this RNA, which is they're putting it in the food, right? We're eating it. It can even mess with your thoughts, your mind, tell you, you know, what to consume for the poison. It'll block out, say don't eat this or that. When you, because they're using far as like they're using like this field and crops, but we understand what they're talking about, man. That's why I said, hey, it's another reason why we got to get out of here, man. Ain't no way we can stay in Babylon and you think, you know, to raise your family here And ain't no way, man. It's crazy.
When we consider how society relies on crops for food, fuel, and fiber, it's easy to see why RNAi can be a valuable asset in crop improvement and a powerful tool against yield loss.
Wow.
However, just as when using other powerful tools, we have to make sure that the technology is safe. Keep in mind that genes are made up of millions and billions of pairs of nucleotides, and RNAi targets gene sequences around 25 nucleotides long. That's right, 21 nucleotides in a sequence out of billions in a gene. With those kinds of odds, the chances of the RNAi blocking other RNAs from producing totally unpredicted proteins is likely. One possible risk is that the RNAi molecule might silence the correct gene, but in the wrong organism. It turns out that the RNAi and the RNA don't have to be 100% identical for there to be silencing. For example, in addition to silencing part of a corn pest digestive system, maybe an RNAi molecule would accidentally silence part of the digestive system of a lady beetle, or a honeybee, or a cow, or cousin Mabel.
Wow.
These risks are not trivial, especially because they're different from those posed by most other types of pesticides that we're used to dealing with. Now, considering the unintentional turning off of unintended genetic functions of targeted and non-targeted organisms, and the huge complexity of biological and ecological systems on which all life depends, this could be a bit of a problem. Without more knowledge about how pesticidal RNAi works in pests and non-target organisms, it's difficult to predict how this technology might affect the environment. Sounds dire, right? Well, it doesn't have to be. To manage these risks, we can already take some unknowns out of the equation to make sure that the pesticidal RNAi poses minimal threats to the species that we want to stick around. When you want to eliminate the unknown, what do you need? More data.
And they say that they want to stick around. Well, we know they're trying to get rid of what they say, they're trying to maintain humanity at 500 million. And they're trying to get rid of the useless eaters, man. Because see, this all goes back to them wanting to get their birthright back. And since they know they can't get their birthright back, then they just gonna kill off many of us Israelites as possible. And majority of their own people, man. Because this is about getting rid of the righteous seed. The scripture, this is what the scriptures talks about, man. It talks about the elites getting rid of the righteous seed, which are the Hebrew Israelites, man. So they don't care because they people don't got to be around. The elites families ain't being around none of this madness, man.
You have to take steps to weed out RNAi that silences genes other than the one you mean to target, and be sure the genes they target are really involved in the cellular function of interest. So assessing an area's bioinventory can help. Then we'll know what species might be exposed to RNAi. Also, we'll get the genomes or genetic blueprint for the exposed species and screen potential RNAi molecules to see whether a particular pesticide might hurt the species we want to keep healthy. From this, we can develop comprehensive risk assessment procedures that can make sure our desire to manage pests isn't coming at the expense of Mother Nature. Science can help us to understand the benefits and risks associated with this amazing new technology called RNAi, and where it fits in with a sustainable and long-term successful plan for agriculture.
For more information on RNAi-based insecticide.
So yeah, let me get a couple of these precepts, man. But y'all was watching the brother video. That's crazy, man. But this is what these devils doing all day, every day. Let me get a couple precepts. Seeing I ain't gonna be able to go out today. I gotta go to my little brother. My little brother graduating today, so I gotta go and drive a couple hours to Georgia to go to my little brother graduation. So this is Micah 2:1, and it reads, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. So these bastards sit up all night and think about ways how to get rid of us. And as I mentioned in the lesson yesterday, right, in Proverbs, this is Proverbs 15 and 22. It reads, what's it like it? Proverbs 15 and 22. Without counsel, proposals are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors, they are established. So they sit around, do counsel, and create things, man, to destroy us. It's Proverbs 20 and 18, and it reads, every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice, make war. So this is what they do. They establish their counsels, right? It said, again, Micah 2 and 1. See, it said, woe to the oppressors. Woe to them that devise iniquity and were evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. This is Proverbs 4 and 16. But they sit up all night, man. This is what they do. But they got people that just sit up round the clock and come up with ways to get rid of us, man. This is Proverbs 1:16. For they sleep not. See, it say at night, right? They were evil upon their beds in Micah 2 and 1. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. It tell you in Proverbs 26 that 7 abominations is in his heart, man, which is his mind. 7 abominations is in the so-called white man's heart because the Lord made them to be perfectly wicked. Let me read it. The Lord made them to be perfectly wicked, man. It's Proverbs 26 and 26. Proverbs 26 and 25, it reads. Let's read 24. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, which is they pass their bills, right? They do things through their laws. They frame mischief by their laws, as to tell you in Psalms 94 and 20. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. This means the so-called white man is completely wicked, man. 7 abominations in your heart is completion, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. That's why the Lord said made them bear in Jeremiah 49 and 10. In Psalms 38 and 12, this is what they do. They say they work evil upon their beds. And when the morning is light, they practice it, man. This is Psalm 38 and 12. They also that seek after my life lay snares for me. See, they do things privily, man. They got a bill passed for why they spray chemtrails, for why they got GMO foods. There's a bill passed for why they're using RNAi. There's a bill for this, man. They also that seek after my life lay snares for me, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceits all the day long. All day. This is what they do, man. This is Psalms chapter 12 and 8. It reads, Salakia. If you think about what the Lord asked Job, this is Psalms 12 and 8. It reads, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted, right? It said the wicked walk on every side when the violent men are exalted. What did the Lord ask Satan? Let's read it. Said the wicked walk on every side when the violent men are exalted. Right? This is Job 2 in verse 2. It reads, remember what it said in Psalm 12 and 8. The wicked walk on every side when the violent men are exalted. What did Job call the Edomites? He called them vile. Job 2 and 2. And Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. What it says in Psalm 12 and 8? When the wicked walk on every side, when the violent men are exalted, on every side. So Satan told the Lord what? Job 2 and 2. And Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. The spiritual demon Satan can't walk up and down in the earth. He's a spirit, but he got his physical seeds on earth, which are. That's why I tell you that in Ephesians 6, man. Spiritual wickedness, the rulers of this world, in darkness. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Okay? When you go to Luke 22 and 31, let's get this. We're gonna get this in the different translation, right? So this is the NIV. Luke 22 and 31. This is what the Lord told Peter. Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift all of you as wheat. So 1 Peter 5 and 8 say he's walking around as a roaring lion, seeking all whom he may devour. Now, like I said in Job 2, the Lord say, has thou considered my servant Job? So here it is. Satan, it says, Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift all of you as wheat. Right? Let's get this other one. NET, Simon, Simon, pay attention. Satan has demanded to have you all to sift you like wheat. He got to ask the Lord. What's the NLT? It says, Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift each of you like wheat, man. So this bastard is walking around the earth because they think this is Psalms 71 and 10. This is how they feel, man. This Psalm 71 and 10. For my enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take what? Counsel together. I read that in Proverbs 15 and 22, Proverbs 20 and 18. They take counsel, man. For my enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together, saying, God hath forsaken him, persecuted, take him, for there is none to deliver him. See? And this is where they at, man. All they do, and who set them up? The Lord did, man. The Lord set the so-called white men to do this. Let me prove it to you. In Leviticus, this is Leviticus 26 and 33. When you read in Psalms 17 and 13, the Lord say they are sword. He sent them to be a sword, right? Leviticus 26 and 33. And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you. in Deuteronomy, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 60. He's using these bastards as a sword, man. To do what? Destroy 2/3 of Israel. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the Bible of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of Yahweh thy power. So this is the Lord. He said, every plague, every disease, every sickness that's not written in the Bible shall cleave unto us, man, until we be left few in number. Well, who's coming up with these plagues and diseases that's not written in the Bible? The so-called white man, which is from the Lord. But the so-called white man is doing this, man. This is the sword. Go back, Leviticus 26 and 33. And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. How do you affect people, man? What affects people? What do people need? Isaiah 3 and 1. We need food and water, man. Okay? First and foremost, we need Yahweh Shema Shai. That's first and foremost. You need food and water to live, man. This is how the Lord set the body up. Well, these earthly bodies. Isaiah 3 and 1. For behold, the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, doeth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread, and the whole stay of water. The Lord taking these things away. This is Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care. With care meaning we looking at ingredients. Every time you pick up something in the grocery store, you looking at the ingredients. Eating with care, man. And they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water and be stunned one with another and consume away for their iniquity. Now let's get this in NLT. You're saying consume away for their iniquity, man. NLT say, then he told me, Son of man, I will make food very scarce in Jerusalem. It will be weighed out with a great care and eaten fearfully. The water will be rationed out drop by drop, and the people will drink it with dismay. This is, and we watching these things happen because of these bastards, man. This Ezekiel chapter 5 and 16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. So I will send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I, Yahweh, have spoken. I have spoken it. This is from the Lord, man. Ezekiel chapter 12 and 17. This always happened. And I'm going through these precepts because it's always happened, man. When you go to 2 Kings chapter 6, what did the women do? They made a pact to boil their sons on 2 different days, man. Ezekiel 12:17. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, eat thy bread with quaking, and drink thy water with trembling and with carefulness. And say unto the people of the land, Thus saith Yahweh power of the inhabitants of Jerusalem and of the land of Israel. They shall eat their bread with carefulness and drink their water with astonishment, that her land may be desolate from all that is therein, because of the violence of all them that dwell therein. See, 2/3 got to go, man. And see, they refuse to repent, man. So they got to go. Let's get this. Ezekiel 14. The Lord says he's going to send 4 sword judgments. And you can read in Jeremiah 15, verse 1 through 3. This is Ezekiel 14 and 21. It reads, For thus saith Yahweh power, how much more, when I shall send my 4 sword judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword, and the famine, and the noisome beast, and the pestilence, to cut off from it man and beast. And what's being taken away? The chicken, the turkey, the cattle, right? Who's taking it away? Oh, let's read verse 13. Ezekiel 14 and 13, it reads, Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then I will stretch out my hand upon it, and will break the staff of bread before thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. And the Lord is doing this. Is what Yahweh Shemawashah doing right now, using these Edomites, man. Because when you're reading Ezekiel, another thing, the Lord said we were going to eat our food defiled, man. We're going to eat our food defiled, living amongst these bastards, man. Ezekiel 4:13, and Yahweh said, Even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among Gentiles, where thou wilt drive them. And Jake, we around here we looking at all the ingredients, trying to make sure we ain't consuming pork. Man, they got pork in the bottles, man. In these plastic bottles, it don't matter. Always the waters I be getting, alkaline waters like 9.5. They got like the blue color tint to it. So even if it be in the sun, the tint from the bottle, different colors, it kind of like they say it helps the sun from affecting the water. Cause like you got people that leave the waters in their cars, and the next day they'll drink it. You don't supposed to be drinking the water that have been in the sun for over 24 hours, man. You can't drink that. You throw that water out, man. But these, cause the sun is basically like activating the pork that's in the plastic, man. They put pork in the plastic, man. Enzymes. It don't matter what we do, this devil, because he's an accuser, man. He's up there like, Lord, look what they're doing. So you finna still get them the kingdom? Look at how they part of the transforming Decepticons. Look at, I got them eating pork, they don't even know it. Well, the Lord say, he winked at our ignorance, man. Now, what we don't know, the Lord ain't holding it. That's why Yahweh came, man. Because what we don't know, we are consuming. We don't know it. The Lord ain't gonna hold that against you, man. But when you willfully sinning, that's different. When you know and you still doing it, that's willfully sinning, man. But this bastard is trying to accuse us on all sides, man. This is Zephaniah. That's why, hey, the apostles always say, man, prayer. Apostle Ricard, always pray, man. Because these devils is working overtime to get rid of us, man. This is Zephaniah. Salakia. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 2. And it reads, I will see, this is the Lord doing this. I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith Yahweh. I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heaven, and the fish of the sea, and the stumbling block with the wicked, and I will cut off man from off the land, saith Yahweh. See, the Lord, he said, I will consume man and beast, right? Your cattle, right? Cows. I will consume the fowls of heaven, your turkey, your chicken, right? These lawful birds that we trying to eat, if you can find quail and turtle dove, right? I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heaven and the fishes of the sea. The Lord taking away everything that's considered that we eating, that's dietary law. The Lord is taking all that, man. Because 2/3, man. So now you got these bastards is breeding is salmon with eel, man. Then they go talk about, if you want real salmon, you got to get wild Alaskan caught salmon. Listen, man. The Lord, I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heaven and the fishes of the sea and the stumbling blocks with the wicked. See? And what Yahweh, we go through it all the time. Just went through that camp Saturday. Yahweh is the stumbling block, man, to 2/3. And the stumbling blocks with the wicked, and I will cut off man from off the land, saith the Lord. This is Joel. This is Joel 1 and 16. And when you read this whole chapter in Joel, matter of fact, let's run through it. Because it mentioned everything that God was talking about in that RNAi video. Listen to this. The words of the Lord that came to Joel, the son of Penuel. Hear this, ye old men, and give ear, all ye inhabitants of the land. Have this been in your days, or even in the days of your fathers? This is nothing new, man. Tell ye your children of it, and let your children tell their children, and their children another generation. We here right now. That which the palmer worm have left, the locusts have eaten. What these animals do, they destroy the crops. And that which the locusts have left, have the cankerworm eaten. And that which the cankerworm have left, have the caterpillar eaten, man. These animals destroy the crops, man. Awake, ye drunkards, and weep and howl, all ye drinkers of wine, because of the new wine, for it is cut off from your mouth. For a nation is come up upon my land, strong, the Edomites, who's in the land of Israel, the Edomites who control the world. Job 9:24. The Job 9:24s. I ain't said that in a minute. I gotta go back to that. These Job 9:24s, man. The so-called white man. For a nation is come upon your land, upon my land, strong and without number, whose teeth are the teeth of iron. It's talking about the Roman Empire. And he hath the cheek teeth of a great lion. Okay? He have laid my vine waste and barked my fig tree. He have made it clean bare. Don't it tell you in Obadiah 1, when Esau come, he ain't gonna leave no grapes. He ain't gonna leave nothing. He have made it clean bare and cast it away. The branches thereof are made white. Lament like a virgin girded with sackcloth for the husband of her youth. This is we doing. We lamenting, man. Okay, you know the virgin that's getting raped from some guy and she's married. It said the virgin don't marry, if don't cry out. The virgin, the woman who's getting raped, and the guy will get put to death. But if she start crying out, right? She's saving her life. We crying to Yahweh Shema Shai. Lament like a virgin girded with sackcloth. We have been in sackcloth since we left Jerusalem, man. For the husband of her youth, the meat offering and the drink offering is cut off from the house of the Lord, because the Lord got tired of them burnt sacrifices. Because Jake used to have their animals ready to be sacrificed before they go commit adultery or go worship another god or go sacrifice, go worship Molech. They had their animals ready to be sacrificed when they got back. The Lord got tired of that. That's why Yahweh had to come and be that sacrificial lamb. The meat offerings and the drink offerings is cut off from the house of the Lord. The priests, the Lord's ministers mourn. The field is wasted. The land mourneth, for the corn is wasted. The new wine is dried up. The oil languisheth. Be ye ashamed, O ye husbandmen. How, O ye vine dressers, for the wheat and for the barley, because the harvest of the field is perished. The vine is dried up, and the fig tree languisheth. The pomegranate tree, the palm tree also, and the apple tree, even all the trees of the field are withered, because joy is withered away from the sons of men. Gird yourselves and lament, ye priests, how ye ministers of the altar, come lie all night in sackcloth. What we been in? Night represents darkness. destruction. What we been living in? Nothing but woe, lamentation, mourning, and woes, man. Lie all night in sackcloth, ye ministers of my power, for the meat offerings and the drink offerings is withholding from the house of your power. Verse 14. Sanctify ye a fast, call it solemn assembly, gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land into the house of the Lord. And with the Lord bringing us back now, this is the tabernacle of David that's being built. It say, sanctify ye a fast, call it solemn assembly, gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land into the house of Yahweh, your power, and cry unto Yahweh. See, we're going to cry to the Lord. That's what I tell you in Exodus 2 and 25. It said they cried to the Lord because of the reason of oppressors. Like it said, the same thing it said in Isaiah 19 and 20. It say, alas for the day of Yahweh is at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. This is verse 16. Joel 1 and 16. Is not the meat cut off from before your eyes? Yeah, the Lord said he's going to get rid of the fish, the birds, and the cattle. Is not the meat cut off before your eyes? Yeah, joy and gladness from the house of our power. The seed is rotting under the clods, meaning this was going on when you got land, you farming, you growing crops. The garners are laid desolate. The barns are broken down. Okay, for the corn is withered. How do the beasts groan? The herds of cattle are perplexed because they have no pasture. Yeah, the flocks of the sheep are made desolate. Who's doing this? The Lord. Habakkuk. This is what's happening, man. But nobody is paying attention to this, man. 2/3 ain't paying attention to what's going on, man. This is Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 16. It reads, when I heard what? The destruction of the Lord, man. When he saw this vision, it said, when I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice, rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself that I might rest in the day of trouble. When he cometh up upon the people, he will invade them with his troops. The Lord coming, man. Coming, man. He's coming. He said, Psalms, Isaiah 63 and 4 said, the vengeance burneth in Yahweh's heart, man. And you know if Yahweh shall vengeance burneth, you know Yahweh. He said he come to do the will of his father, man. Although the fig tree shall not blossom, neither shall the fruit be in the vines, the labor of the olive shall fail, and the fields shall yield no meat. What are they doing now? They giving us lab-grown meat, man. Some of the cows, because the cows fart, man. It's destroying the ozone and all this other garbage, man. Okay? The carbon emissions, man. And the field shall yield no meat. What's in the field? Cows. The flock shall be cut off from the fold, and there shall be no herds in the stalls. Habakkuk say, yet will I rejoice in Yahweh. I will joy in the power of my salvation. Why he gonna rejoice? Because better is the end of a thing than the beginning. Let me get this. Ecclesiastes. We need this to happen, man. We need this to happen, man. Ecclesiastes, what was that? 7 and 10. I think it is, maybe 11. We need this to happen, man. Okay, Habakkuk say, yeah, well, I rejoice in the Lord because we seeing these things happen, man. This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 10. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? And Jake always reminisce about how it used to be in the 90s, in the 80s, and the gas was cheap, right? 50 cent, 89 cent, $1 for a gallon of gas. Gas was cheap. Eggs was cheap. The provisions was cheap back then. No, man. We want to get out of here, man. And these things got to happen for us to get out of here. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou doest not inquire wisely concerning this. Better is the end of a thing than a beginning. We are praying Yahweh Shem Abishai. The scriptures say, hasten to flee from these times, man. So we watching these devils play out, trying to get rid of 2/3 of Jake, trying to get rid of the hopeful elect, but they only are giving the 2/3, man. The Lord got to set up that way. Better at the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, man. Okay? We trying to get out of here. So we can't get out of here. Or what is that? Let me read this from the phone. These things got to happen, man. Okay? It says in Second Ezra, that which is good cannot come until that which is wicked be sown in the earth, man. Let me see if I can get it. Right. Second Ezra 4:28 it reads, but as concerning the things whereof thou asked me, I would tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. For the grain of evil had been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness have it brought up unto this time, and how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of the threshing come? Ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil have brought forth. And when the ear shall be cut off, and when the ear shall be cut down, which are without number, how great a floor shall they feel? You see? Then I answered and said, how and when shall these things come to pass? Wherefore are our years through in evil? And he answered me, saying, do not thou hasten above the most highest, for thy haste is in vain to be above him, for thou hast much exceeded. To the angel telling him, listen, man, calm down, man. Just watch for the prophecies. This is verse 37. By measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times, and he, Yahweh, doeth not move nor stir them until the said measures be fulfilled. That's why the Lord said this in 2 Ezra 9:1. He say, it reads, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And uproars of the people is in all these countries where Jacob scattered at, South, Central, North America, and everywhere else where Jacob scattered at, man. Because the four corners of the earth, there's a bunch of uproars, man. Okay? There's a bunch of earthquakes going on. Everybody got a weapon, man. And the head brother Camp on the hall, you always say, everybody got weapons, everybody got a gun because of the so-called white man. The world is in turmoil. It's in an uproar because of this so-called white man. But this got to happen, man. Okay? That which is sown with good cannot come until this again. So anyway, I'm gonna close out, man. These devils messing with my cam and my mute button again for whatever reason. Anyway, I was gonna close out, man. Lord is edifying. Got to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rikah Kodash. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna close out. These devils messing with my cam and my microphone, man. These bastards. But again, I'm gonna say shalom. To give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rikat, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishop and elders, great millstone, rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders over all of Israel, already accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the occupants pushing this truth and believing this truth to the full winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the wife who are listening and learning. If you sisters are listening and learning. Lord was edifying to next time I say shalom. The wife for tuning in. May Yahweh Shema shall continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. Wa abad babal.